can already move over here. Oh my god, my tongue hurts. Holy sheesh, that hurts. Holy sheesh. Ooh. Welcome to another Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint work stream. If I started the actual right stream. Yeah, this is the right stream. Okay, this is the right stream. Perfect. Whew, okay, I thought maybe I started something wrong, something private, something secret. Oh no, not my secret projects nobody knows about. Okay, last week we went to chapter 59. This week our goal, as always, is at least chapter 70, if not going further, maybe 75, 80 or something like that. Welcome, Eileen. I hope you had a nice day, and it's only going to get nicer from here on out. No matter if it is day, night, or somewhere in the middle of it all, I hope you are going to have a good time and can keep up with my information warfare here. Because I don't think we will get much important information here. The concept of like a war because two constellations that knew each other like during their lifetime can happen, like some sort of special scenario, is an interesting concept that I might keep in mind for my thing. But it also depends on what constellations the characters will have. Because if some person has like, I don't know, let's just continue with the thing. If somebody has King Arthur and another one is one of the what is the antagonist, like, what is the antagonist of King Arthur? Antagonist King Arthur. Is it the Black Knight? It's Mordred? Do I have a Mordred? I guess Mordred is the Black Knight? Looking at that illustration, it looks like Mordred could be called the Black Knight. Do I have a constellation called Mordred? I don't remember. I can check it up. PTG. Nope, that's the wrong one. I need this here. Freaking hell. Okay, I cannot check it because I got disconnected from my Google account. But yeah, I don't know what kind of scenario I would need for the people that there would be something similar to this in my story. Because there's a lot of RNG for that. The 5 commandments, I have no idea. I would guess that it is some sort of buff for all of the people in some sort of faction. But considering that this is specifically for the Scylla army, like for the Scylla Huarang, I'm probably not even going to write that down. There could be something similar, which is not titled 5 commandments, but something more like, I don't know, team power, or I don't freaking know, something that powers up the whole group, but it's not too important. Practice swordsmanship is just like a specific swordsmanship that it's also a stigma, so we can ignore it especially. But besides normal swordsmanship, I guess there will also be different swordsmanship types where people can earn techniques from. Which will be interesting because they will adjust their fighting styles. Instead of just normal attack, stigma attack. As military command, we already wrote that one down. Okay, so their thing gives them a frenzied state. Okay, but nothing here for now. Dramatization. Dramatization, let me read this actually, because this could be relevant. It occurs when historically relevant incarnations who are in tune with their constellation are locked in battle. It shifts the battle to the time and space during which the constellations fought. Last hero of Constellation is overjoyed. We're not actually there, it's more of an augmented reality. This guy is like creating the question of like them turning into characters because he suddenly knows people from the story, but it's so vague because he and other renouncers are going through that. But that probably doesn't mean that Dogja or Suyong, who technically also could be called a renouncer, will go through it. And people who have never read the story don't seem to be turned into characters. So it just still begs the question of like, what is going on? Why is it happening to these people who read the story? If he dies, you will win. Kingdom will perish. Oh no, not my kingdom. That cool item that saved Dogja's ass so many times, I can not even put it into the story because it's a Korean special item. Who is he calling upon? The leader of the Hwarang, the great king Hongmu. Was the great king... I remember the scene vividly, but I don't really remember if Hongmu appeared somewhere later as well. No, poor Hongmu. Sanga always with her history knowledge. History is just a game changer in this world. If you know enough about history, you can just suck up to them and then everything will work out. Yep. Good thing you brought. She's such... At this point in the story, she's still like such a charisma build. She's such a charisma character. Just completely built onto charisma. And later on, she will switch over to still have the high charisma, which she doesn't use that often anymore. But she will be like a... I feel like she's a Dex character. Just because of like her fighting style and being flexible and whatnot, she seems to be like a Dex-based attacker. Dex-based attacker with high charisma. Dogja is now the puppet of a constellation. Yep. Has possessed this incarnation. Which is crazy to think about. Like, it's possible because of the dramatization, because they are very in tune. I don't know if this guy may even be like an actual descendant of the last hero of Hwangsanbo, but normally, like, with probability and everything, this would take a big burden. I wonder if it actually did, I forgot. Because here we can see Blue Dragon Sword has entered. Oh, the power of the Constellation artifact, the Blue Dragon Sword. Okay. That's an item, but not one we will ever write down or be able to use, but it's something. It's crazy calling all Hwarang. For some reason, this general has a freaking necromancy ability, which seems so out of tune? I don't know. But hey, who cares? Let's go, skeleton attack. And there he is with that hermit cloak. That was the name. The rules of plausibility. You will perish along with your incarnation if he dies. Ooh! That's right, Gebek seems to be unreasonably immersed in his incarnation. Yushin, you must not know anything about this world. This world? How unfair is it that I cannot come near you even in a fake stage such as this? I would have liked to duel with you just once. Historically, Gebek's army never once lost against Yushin Kim. That is until the Battle of Hwangsanbo. And in that battle, Gebek never got a one-on-one fight with Yushin Kim. I think I kind of understand how he's feeling. I call Yushin Kim a coward, but he was all the more powerful because he knew the risks, and he could win thanks to his nonchalance. Okay, let me read this sentence again, because I want to know what they are thinking about. No, you must not know anything about this world. This world? Well, yeah, because it's like about the connection of everything. It is Earth, and they have the history of these characters, but it is not the same world where these Korean constellations are coming from. It. At least that's my headcanon. Because if it were the same world, it would mean that just a few hundred years ago, there already were scenarios with the Dokibis. but for some reason it was not noted down in history, and the world did not get destroyed, and everything was fine, and then it just stopped at some point. I do think it's like a lot of different worlds. Like in one version of Earth, the Dokkaebi scenario started in the 1500s. In one version of Earth, it started in the dinosaur age, something like that. So there's like it's the multiverse theory. There's a multiverse out there, and everywhere the Dokkaebi scenario started during a different time. Indirect nature of the killing. Yeah, because it wasn't Dogja, right? Dogja has so many loopholes of still continuing to be the freaking king of no killing. But nothing for us here. Let's go. We're doing the fast scrolling. Okay, the throne does not want a weak king. You must have at least a black flag. Oh, I still wonder if I can do the freaking... I need to get back to writing my Paris story. I'm still wondering if I should really call it the 4th way to survive the apocalypse and then the Paris Dome, because it feels somewhat anticlimactic to just call it Paris Dome because it takes place there. I will probably still call it the 4th way to survive the apocalypse, then colon. Is it called colon? Colon. Yeah. The 4th way to survive the apocalypse, colon, and then whatever title it could be. It's maybe something like the two yin and yang, I don't know. Turn it into a purple flag. Yippee! Even after hearing my voice, I'm very mentally stable. Pain when I hear the voice of Constellation. Remember this, you owe me one. I had to break the law of plausibility. I wonder what did he do for the general, because he owes him one. Did that come back? Did that get pulled into the story again? Grown quite fond of you. It's okay with you. I would like to be your support and constellation to roam this world with you. Sorry? No. Calling all Hwarang is a great stigma, but the most powerful? As if. How can he say that when he's not even a fabled constellation? This is the first time that we see the rankings of the constellations, I think. I actually still think that there should be like a 4th category up here that is just the top of the top. Because if we really see the distribution here, I think the distribution should be more like upscaled in the way that mythical is barely like the top up here. And until the point where my mouse cursor is, it is basically like fabled, and historical is also like pushed up way higher. Because there's not that many, like there are probably a lot of mythical constellations in a way, but historical and fabled are way more. Are still under the effect of my blasting, right? He's threatening him. Look at that. Always those constellations trying to... This truly was like another sign of like, most constellations are just idiots. They might help you in a moment, but when time comes, they will go behind you. They will stab your back. They will use you forever what they want. And if you're not going with what they want, they're going to be even more evil towards you. Yeah, the Great Sage Heaven's equal would be a great... I wonder what the story would be like if Dogja chose the Great Sage Heaven equal as his constellation. Constellation Temporary Femboy entered the chat. Welcome, Arika. Arika? Yeah, Arika. For some reason my head thought it was wrong. Wonder what the story would have been like if Dogja had Wukong as his constellation. Because I don't think, like, Wukong would just make Dogja stronger. Would Dogja be stronger? He wouldn't have the same temporary affair because my girl forced me to, lol. Lemao, the pain, or like the oh my god, the submissiveness. Because I'm wondering, would Dogja have the same amount of coins if not all these constellations were interested in him? No, Dogja becoming a constellation. Yeah, if that would be the biggest change. That Dogja couldn't become a constellation, but he would still have like a mythic constellation to support him. And this because Dogja says he would have chosen the Great Sage to have his equal. That means he at least trusts the monkey enough that he would not be like a bad person or something. So that begs the question of like what that kind of story would have been like. Fourth wall has been activated. Damn, he literally forced the constellation out. Echo of the Star is removed. Look at them being intrigued by Dogja's power. Couldn't just leave you behind, yet I was afraid I might be attacked. Look at those strings. Dogja? Sanga being kind of like, oh, well, look at her tying Dogja up like that in the strings. Quite kinky. Are you still there? But nothing for us, nothing for us. She's so pretty. I would fumble. If I were Dogja, I might simp. Even though I like Sanga and Sooyoung. But she is quite the beauty. And also like a good person in like the bottom of her heart. Hwang Ha-moon. Where's our invisible boy? 9 kings, including a tyrant and the first disciple. 7 purple flags and 2 brown. 2 of the purple flags seemed much darker than the others. Sanga, Gilyoung, and I will enter. You two can wait outside. Wasn't this the time where one of them died? For some reason I remember that. Gilyoung, you are such a ride or die. Gilyoung is one of the... where was Hyunsung at this point of time? I forgot where Dogja left Hyunsung and Huiwon. Was it when he returned to his main base, where there was this short talk with Sooyoung, and then he must have switched out his party members from from Huiwon and Hyunsung to Sang-ah and Gilyoung. I think it must have been like that, and they must have stayed back in Chungmoro, was the name of the station, I think, together with Pildu, Jungyok, and Jihye, and the other NPCs. Must have been like that switch. Hyunsung was left protecting Chungmoro. 1-man dungeon, 3-man dungeon, 5-man dungeon. That's also an interesting thing that I can note down for myself. The idea of relic dungeons. So if to obtain artifacts, constellation artifacts and other important items, the players will have to go through relic dungeons. I guess. Everyone was sent on a mission to get... Oh, that was already going on at this... I guess it was already going on at this time, because during the king fight, she had her appearance, her one-time appearance. Level 7 clones. That's a new monster, actually. It's a tier 7 monster, I guess. It says level 7 instead of tier, but I guess it's 7. And I guess it would fall under... constructs. Do I have constructs somewhere written down? Yeah, here. Slightly more valuable than beast, the same value as dragon, I guess. Their name are called... Copper Acupuncture Man. I don't like that name. Do they have a different name in the novel? Or can I call them... what were these statues called again? Terracotta Warrior. Could just call him Terracotta Warrior. Or I just changed the words around. Damn. He looks so disgusting, man. The way he looks at her, the way you can see the ribs, the way this freaking belly button looks, and then like the junk missing. Oh my god, he looks so disgusting. Yep, acupuncture, a nice mechanic. It's a normal fight, but it also is like a special mechanic that you can go through. I think I will call him Terracotta Human. A Terracotta Warrior. Or Human. We can call it Human. You have obtained a skill Pressure Point as a special reward. Do I have something like that? Yes, I'm freaking Pressure Point. No, let me open up my ORV. By the way, I will give them the names. These monsters were not really warriors. They were just Terracotta Human. And then as a tier 6 construct, we have the Terracotta Warrior. And if we're already doing it, let's give them a tier 5 construct, which is the Terracotta General. I need my list of monsters. If not, we don't have enough monsters. And while I will have them fight against humans multiple times, I will not want. I don't want them to only fight against humans. I will also like want to have fight against monsters for like some switch and not always be like, oh, you need to fight against this monster, then this monster, and this monster. Okay, personal attribute, pressure points. And not attribute, it's not an attribute, it's a skill. Pressure points. It will cost you 2 spell points. And I don't exactly remember what it did. I mean, it's like the pressure point stuff. Like sometimes, like you can use it to heal a person, you can use it to paralyze a target, you can use it for that and that and that. Like pressure point fighting style is always like there's a lot of different things you can do with that. Hunt the kings who are after it. King of the Tyrant King, and look at what Suyong looks like. Going after their flags then? I guess we'll have to kill them. Damn, Dogja, I guess we have to kill that guy. Sangha is just like, what the freak is wrong with this kid? Oh, don't worry about it. Once we walk past that door, yep. 10 ancient coins to enter the hidden dungeon. He's mostly using it to subdue enemies to preserve King of No Killing. So it mainly is like for the paralyzing effect, I guess. There we see more of the kings. The Room of the North Star. The Fist of the North Star. Let's just say it has the paralyzing function. You can use this ability to add a chance to paralyze your targets. You can use this ability to add a chance to add a paralyzing effect to your attack if it hits the targets. It's just something like that. I want to look at what Paralyzed D&D does again. I always forget these conditions. Was Paralyzed broken? Do I have to rework it? Is incapacitated, can't move or speak, fails strengthening saving throw. Yeah, it's not paralyzed. It's a different kind of paralyzed. It's like a Pokemon kind of paralyzed where they cannot cannot move from time to time. Because otherwise it would be too broken. So what would be a different word that I could use instead of paralyze? Synonym. I could call it. I don't want to call it immobilized. I could call it like just like something. And something with blocking, chi blocking, blocking effect. Let's just call it blocking a target if it hits the target. If the target gets hit, they need to toss a coin to see if they can move on the turn. If the target gets hit, they need a card. They also roll Constitution saving throw to see if they can remove the effect. Yep, I think that works. Look at all those dead bodies and all those constellations. Oh, it was damn small fry. Do you see those cuts? Do you see those cuts? I am the king of no killing. I killed nobody. Dude, he literally is... Okay, he's cutting off this guy's legs. He's also cutting off this guy's legs and then doing another cut. And then he's literally bisecting this guy. I guess because they haven't died yet after Dogja's attack, and then Gillion goes in for the kill. Gillion kill steals, so that the kill does not get attributed to Dogja. It's so crazy how Gillion is not affected by this at all. It's always like the children that are changing so fast that it is scary. I can do it better. She's so shaking. She doesn't want to do it, but she doesn't want to put the pressure on the child. Who the freak was that again? We'll make this mess. Who is that? Tyrant King. It's always the same guy. I want to hear more about him. I want to know what he did. I want to know more about this character with a cool design. But no abilities for us. One, yeah. Oh yeah, they didn't show it here, but Dogja picked up the medicine book here too. I think it gets mentioned a bit later down the line, right? I think we heard about it before. Hey, we get new abilities. He's a cult leader. Yay! Cult leader. Did he gain the cult leader? Maitreya King is like the king, one of the king titles, so I'm not writing that one down. When he fights Antinos. So this guy, before the entire scenario started, He was a cult leader. I don't think I thought about this the last time I read it, but this guy was a cult leader in the past. Because like the attributes are like things that affected like your past. Personal skills, weapon proficiency we have, mental barrier we have, eloquent speech. I guess eloquent speech is just like another word that could be used for reasoning. Persuasion, speech, eloquent speech. I don't want to have too many of them. Pseudo-sect founder and novel. Skillful deception. I guess you could argue that eloquent speech is an upgraded version of like the normal speech or reasoning ability, and skillful deception is an upgraded ability for deception. I guess I'm doing that, but then it will be broken as well. Eloquent. I did not write that correct. Eloquent speech, skillful deceit, deception, my bad, deception, false prayer. These ones are like they're passive, so those two would also be passive. Passive. False prayer is active, which is going to cost you 1 spell point. Even though I don't know what it means yet. I had something. Where was it? Advanced. This granted area level. Grants you proficiency martial weapons on every level, gives you +1. Right? Advanced mental barrier as well, so upgrade makes sense. Yeah. It's like advanced martial training, which I already have here. So it basically will be the exact same description as those two abilities that are already up there, but like you will only unlock that skill after you have maxed out that like the previous one. I can write that down as well. It's like, okay, we have this one, and then you have this one. Evolved version of reasoning or speech. I forgot to make a point. Evolved version of deception. I also need to change it for this one up here then. Evolved version of martial training. False prayer. What is false prayer even like? Is it because false prayer is not anything with religion, because it's false. So what would it mean? Also, let's think about what would cult leader get. I guess we could say that cult leader gives you deception and reasoning, because it's a heroic ability. So, heroic gives you 3 personal skills or that. So if I say grants access to the personal skills, speech and deception, and grants 2 status points in charisma. Because, hey, you get those 2 skills, which means you can already like work, like when you have the skill, you can work towards evolving it, and you are better at this charisma, so that means you are even better at using the skill. I think that's good enough for them, but I don't know what false prayer would be. What even is a false prayer? Let me look the definition. False prayer is a prayer uttered by a safe person without being prompted to pray. Or it can be a perceived prayer uttered by an unsafe person whose prayers are not listened to by God anyways. It doesn't sound right to me. You're praying, do not use meaningless repetition as the Gentiles do, for they suppose that they will be heard for their many words. So do not be like them, for your Father knows what you need before you ask him. Damn, that means I don't need to pray? But but I still don't know what false prayer would be like. I don't know what false prayer for an ability is. Let me think about that later. Who should have been here? Nah. Mind reading is a stigma. Is this for a kind-hearted person? A pushover devil. Backstabbing devil. A devil who should not be messed with. You are a devil who should not be messed with. Devil? There we go. No, wait, I must be mistaken. Yep, listen to your constellation. Don't mess with me. What the hell is false prayer? This guy died 100% obviously because a lot of these characters died. I'm Soo-young Han. Sang-young's Cha's assistant. Is that Soo-young? No, right? I forgot. Does not have a registered character profile. Okay. Okay, so it can very it actually seems like it. Yeah, it's its avatar. Yep. There's another one of those damn kings. The Coward King. The Brawl King. And lastly, the Earth Dragon King. Show me all of your abilities. Give me all those abilities. Ah. History is just powerful, man. If you know a lot about history, you're already quite strong. I miss when she did different looks for each avatar. Yeah, nowadays it's all just like pretty woman. Which I don't complain about. I like when I'm surrounded by pretty women. Constellation Naval Warfare God is looking forward to the appearance of a new Fable Constellation. Watching the situation on... Why is the Naval Warfare God looking forward to the appearance of a new Fable Constellation? Other heroes of the Sengoku period should be at war using their incarnations. Oh, okay. Damn, Tokyo Tower? England, Richard the Lionheart, Henry VIII and others should be clashing as well. Richard the Lionheart. Richard the Lionheart. I think I read a book about him once. I don't think I made him a constellation yet. I could do that. But considering that he's already fighting in... did I make a Henry VIII constellation? Man, I need to check that. But I can't check it because you will see and I don't want to spoil you guys. Let me just quickly... Okay. Do I have Henry VIII? I will... The funny thing is, if I say no, you know that I don't have him. If I say yes, or if I say nothing, you know that I have him. But I can say no, I don't have Henry VIII here. Which also means like I'm probably not going to write them down, because even though Richard the Lionheart and Henry VIII are somewhat important historic constellations, I'm not going to write them down. Like, where the frick is Arthur in this whole thing? Like, those two are historic. I guess Arthur is a fable. Is Arthur a fable constellation? What would you say? I would probably rate Arthur as fable. Did I rate Arthur as fable? Let me check. Because Arthur is one of the constellations that I confirmed for you. Doc. Let me open up my sheets of constellations so that I can check my Arthur. Arthur is noted down. Okay. I can tell you that. There's no secret. I noted down Arthur as a fable constellation. Yeah. I noted down Arthur as fable. So I guess because these are historic constellations, they are fighting each other. And because Arthur is a fable location, he just doesn't care enough about this. Would be fable and the other guys at round table would be historical, I feel like. I think that's what I did, yeah. Created for the historical constellations, yep. Sadly, we didn't get to see the abilities from the other kings. Oh man, soon we are going to see that panel of Soo-young holding those freaking gems. There's the Wuxia novel. A Wuxia novel. You know how there's always a mysterious treasure map that guides you to a remote location? Yeah. The sword shall become the most powerful in all the land. A common cliché of the genre. You must have read a few Wuxia novels, Dogsha. I've read quite a lot. But there's always a twist to that cliché. Turns out that the treasure map was fake all along. Boys who came after the treasure map fall into a trap, and the one who planned it quietly gets his way. Yep. A cliché like I'm faking treasure map is trite. Damn, it's always those stabs. I read your story, but your story was kind of like generic and not that good, so I don't know, Soo-young. Tried and true it is. Such cliches, just because they're tried and true, I'd say they should be ashamed to call themselves an author. Well, this isn't a novel we're talking about. I know that we're not characters in a novel. But what if I told you there really was an author who wrote everything that's happening right now? Sorry? What would you do if you were the author, Dogsha? Well, I haven't really thought of that since my name is Dogsha. I don't think you'll be any different. You'll end up resorting to the same cliches to provide your readers with such cheap thrills. What's going into you? You sure sound like an author. I'm not saying the cliches are bad. I'm only saying you should never plagiarize. Oh, this is such a great scene. Are all the same with only minor differences in detail. Could you really call that plagiarizing? For example, ching! Like this. Good old Soo-young. I love her. These interactions, like this is still like, I remember these fondly. I love their dynamic. It's really, it's a good dynamic. It's also like this exchange where they are walking down and talking about, I love when they are talking about this being a story. I know they can't do it that often because it would also lose like its charm. But like when you are talking about how to use story elements and what cliches are happening and that kind of things, while you are inside of a story, I think that's a really cool thing. Soo-young-han, your real name? Yes. Does she look like Dogsha's mom here? Nah, she looks more like Huiwon. Like a more like male version of Huiwon, I guess. Could also just be like a... It's just a generic male face, I guess. My prophecy is not plagiarized! Don't you dare compare my masterpiece to trash like that! So you admit that you've read the original novel. Damn you! She's cute even as a man. And there goes the first person. So, remember, this is the attacking style of the Tyrant King? He has, for some reason, an ability to throw, like, some chakram kind of, like, weapon that he can control, like, where it flies to. It's an item. Do we ever learn what kind of item it is? Hey, we get to see things! He's a circus performer. Circus performer. Rare. He got grappling proficiency, sky steps, and weapons proficiency. The worst tyrant in Korean history has joined hands with a begrudged everyman. Having always felt that society has wronged him, he will seize this opportunity to exert his newfound power for revenge. Can't believe they hyped the guy so much only for him to instantly drop that. I am still waiting for him to maybe one day to return. It's crazy. How can you hype him so much up and he just drops that from a freaking rock? Grappling proficiency. Grants access to the personal skill, Sky Steps. Is it steps or steps? And grants 2 status points that can be distributed between dexterity and charisma? Yeah. Dexterity and charisma. Actually, let's make one more. Dexterity, charisma, and magic power. Then we go over to personal skills and write down Sky Steps and grappling proficiency. Did I call it training? I think I should call it grappling training. Let me just call it grappling training. Grappling training should be passive. Yep. Passive. And Sky Steps is going to cost you 2 spell points per step. It's horrible, man. Using this ability, you are able to step on the sky like it is solid ground, allowing you to I don't need to explain what. You can just step on the sky like it's solid ground, but you need to pay 2 spell points per step. Grappling training is just going to be a copied version of like this. This skill grants you proficiency in grappling. And every level gives you +1 to do it, to perform, to succeed in a grapple. Yep. I still don't know what to do with false prayer. I'm literally so like lost on what could be false prayer. The hidden item, the freewheeled ring, also sounds like probably. Yeah, it must probably be some Korean item. He's way too in tune with his constellation. The question is plausibility the moment he steps out of line. Look at all of them staring. Look at Byung being there and like, yeah, man, I'm the coolest here. Then we have like the little goober over there. We have the one analyzing the situation, and we have just like the freaking Grim Reaper Dokkaebi. Damn. We write a new chapter in this land's history starting today. I'm not afraid of the past. I'm the Yon Sang-un Yoongi. Xing 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 xing. I'm gonna say for much longer than you have. My cliche, it wins in the end. And there comes this asshole. So, I guess. Okay. Think about it here. This is more of a battle between the historic constellations. Even though some people here must also be supported. I mean, probably not some people here, but there must be some people like Sang-a or other people, probably Gil-young, probably others, who have Fable Constellation. But seeing all of this talk about the historical constellations are giving it to all at a chance or like to be promoted to a Fable Constellation. So, if I had the free ring loop, if I had to interpret it, and that means if your incarnation sits on the throne at the end of this scenario, you are going to get promoted from historical to fabled. Like, sitting on the throne is such a big achievement that it would be enough to push the historical constellation to a fabled constellation. Oh yeah, we don't know what Gil-young's constellation yet is. Exactly, we don't know anything. Which seems like, yeah, the king thing is kind of like a big achievement, but I guess it means like, it probably isn't like, oh, if you're just barely a constellation and then your incarnation becomes like a king, and like the one king of the world, you instantly become a Fable constellation. But I guess like if you are like a mid to high rank historical constellation, and then your Incarnation becomes like the king, the one king at the end of the scenario, they would probably be able to become a Fable constellation. So like mid to high ranking historical can become Fabled, and low ranking historical can become like close to Fabled, but not enough. Throne is pretty OP with with knowing the downside, without knowing the downside. So that means there would be like that. I still don't know the downside. They might gain a legendary story automatically. Second qualification. He who dreams of sitting on the throne must desire it. Challenge the claim to the throne. You must remove the other kings to be given that right. Of kings in the hidden dungeon is 12. Yep, there's 2 kings outside. One of the kings is what's called the ultimate king, Jungyok, and the other king is the pacifist king was his name, I think. This man is a king. So my own flags. He has the flag. Hey? Look at that freaking grin. Such a stupid person. No, not the Brawler King. I don't even know what that's the Earth Dragon King, I think. So the Brawler King got killed by the Earth Dragon King. The Coward King got killed by... I don't even know what that person was. Being able to control incarnations in a dome, most likely a legendary plus story. He's getting backstabbed. Oh, those are Suyongs. Yep, because you can see here, my jewels! No, not my crown jewels! Suyong stabs everyone in the end. Look at my queen just stealing those gems. My cliché will win. They made sure to show us how flat her butt is. You know what's funny? You can say it's art style change. And I'm staying specifically on Suyong's butt for a reason. You can say it's art style change. But you could also argue, because Suyong is now more actively using her own body and not only like avatars and stuff, and is like continuing to fight and training because of that. That's why in the art nowadays and recent chapters, Suyong has a bit of a bigger butt. Because here it looks quite flat, but in the current story, she has a bit more of a developed and trained butt. I analyze these butts as my main profession. She's so pretty, man. I love her so much. This is the best panel in the webtoon. The butt? Or do you mean the freaking jewel panel? Damn you, Gabriel. I did not expect you to be that kind of person. Damn. Let me point at you. Crazy talk. Look at you being kind of... Ooh. Look at you, you little stinker. Ooh. But yeah, this is an extremely nice panel. I love this panel so much. Then we're already almost 1 hour in and we only did 3 chapters. The fake king. The sword is mine. You'll be alright. She's such a goober. I love her so much. She doesn't even know what a sword does. It's very powerful, but... Die! She's such a cringe lord. Dude, you know, seeing this scene here, it is so obvious why she wanted to go with the Abyssal Black Flame Dragon. Because she is a freaking edgelord. She is such an edgelord. It's so fitting that she goes with the Abyssal Black Flame Dragon. It's famous not because it's a great sword, but because its owner was a great warrior. Away from the cliche, you should have done that in your own writing. Oh damn, for some reason I thought he put her hand around her head, but he didn't. Got a sword because it's shiny. Yay, shiny! End you all! What a mess. Should be here by now. Is he still lost? Yep, and then Junior arrives. Also, Supreme and Neutral King outside. Yeah, it was Supreme, not Ultimate. You're right, okay. If she sliced above their head, she would have cut off the Constellation link. She just doesn't know how the item works. And then rocks fall down. By the way, can I just... All things considered. We're at the end of the chapter. Did we see... We did see his stats here. So looking at his here. He has a stamina of 30. You need to activate the sword to cut the connection. He has a stamina of 30 here. It was a bit of a surprise, so he couldn't use any abilities or attacks to mitigate the damage. But a stamina of 30 and like minor damage received is not enough to survive these rocks falling down. To anyone here who has some D&D TTRPG experience, what do you think? How much damage was this falling down rock? Not charged with the soul of the guys. Because I want to check something here. Stats. Kind of big rocks, won't lie. Not wrong, not wrong. Do I need to scroll down further? Or more up? I think more up. Oh, let me just do the right thing and update this. Text editor, table of contents. Then let me go up and let me go to... Where's my table of contents? Why is it not here? There it is. I don't know why it wasn't there. Stats. Thank you. Like 50 damage? He's squishy. He rolled a 1. Unlucky. Because in my thing, stamina is constitution, and I say 1 level in constitution equals an increase in your constitution stat by 1, and also a base increase in your HP by 2. Furthermore, every 10 levels in constitution you get to roll another dice to increase your HP. If your background made you roll a 1d6 during character creation, that means you would roll 2d6 at level 10, 3d6 at level 20, and so on. He has 30. So, dice roller. That means at base he has 60 HP because of the increase of 2 for every 1 in the stats, which means he has a 60 base. And then he has, let's just go with the 1d6. So in total he rolled 1d6 for just base, 2d6 for 10, 3d6 for 20, and 4d6 for 30. Which means in total it's 7, 9. In total he rolled 10d6. So we're going to say that d6s, the basic die, and he rolled... how do I do it? No, not modify. I want him to roll... are those 10? Yep, that's 10 dice. Junior rolled a nat 20. So let's do a roll, which is 41. So as max HP, he would have 101 health. But he got hit by some, like the stabbing attacks from Suyong. I'm actually doing D&D math here. So remember, he has 101 health. And then he got hit by the stabbing attacks from Suyong. 2 of those, I think. Which would be like, considering Suyong having at least a somewhat decent weapon, let's say that, those attacks were 4d4. So let's roll. So Suyong dealt 8 damage on that. Minus 8. And then he probably got hit by some other like minor attacks, which should have reduced his... It probably must be more, but let's go with 8. He probably got hit by some other attacks, which also dealt like at least 10 more damage, which is like 18, which would bring him down to like 93, 83. So we would consider that the rocks dealt at least 83 damage, which is quite a lot, by the way. Like 83 damage is a lot in D&D terms. It's not as much in the Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint world, but I guess it makes sense considering that you are actually getting crushed by rocks. Is there like a D&D rock spell? Magic Stone. Okay. Okay, this is Magic Stone. You touch 1 to 3 pebbles and shoot them at enemies. These pebbles deal 1d6 damage. This is like the DM taking creative liberties. Yeah, it's also just like a story event. It's like supposed to happen. But even in D&D terms, if you consider that a small pebble can deal 1d6 damage, and these are massive rocks falling on top of him while he is not like on guard, it makes sense that like every rock can deal like at least like 1d12 to 2d12 damage or something. And if we remove these and say, okay, he got hit by 2d12, so let's say he got hit by 4 rocks, which would be 8d12. Damn, look at it, it's 46 damage. Technically he could survive, but he could have also died. It probably is even more damage, because this is just like me random talking and lowballing it. But it seems realistic. I feel like even in my system, this could happen. I just need to know how much damage this deals. Iron King is strong. The Fire definitely isn't the strongest. Yep, because there is the Supreme King. Heyo! Why is Dogja dead meat? Do you want his meat that bad, Jungyok? Knows the dropping barrels build in Baldur's Gate 3. Damn, he crazy like that. I'm still lost on that false prayer. I will come back here after every chapter, I think. And if I don't find anything, any idea of what I could make false prayer do, I will just delete it. Rockslide D&D is 9d6. And if we upscale this to... Rockslide D&D. I'm not paying $29.99 for this. I'm not paying $29.99 to read this spell. I apologize, but I'm not paying $29.99. It deals 96 damage. It's a... I want to see the spell level. It's a 5th level spell. So let's say... so let's say it's a 5th level spell. So we're upscaling it by 5. So if we upscale it like that in D&D to the Omniscient Reader, let's say caster make a single ranged touch attack and compare it to the AC, the bludgeoning damage and slashing damage. Crushing, slashing, and shattering stones in an area. Well, stones. Also, if we think about it, in my head, a stone is like this, you see? Like a small stone, like a rock, like a stone here, right? But if I want to say rock, a rock is something bigger. A rock is something bigger. By the way, why we see skirts? Because the German word for skirt is rock. Rock. But I think rocks are bigger than stones. So these stones already deal that much damage. And if we say that rocks are even more powerful, I don't know, let's say these rocks dealt like 5 times that, 45d6. 45d6 damage. I could see that. I could see that it dealt 45d6 and then dealt 175 damage. This is such a stupid talk. The Hermit King, Beauty, Materia King, Earth Dragon King. Oh, that's the Earth Dragon King. Even the neutral king who hasn't appeared yet. I hate the neutral king. Is he still alive? I don't even remember what happened to him. Why is Dr. Kim dead meat? I forgot the situation. Okay, so they got this sister and must have... They did something to the sister, right? A hostage situation. He dead, that's for sure, yeah. Gil-young already... I love that Gil-young always does the thing. Soo-young stabbed him 3 arcs later. It's always like the situation of like, I'm talking to my insects, and then he gets nosebleed. Grade 6 Monarch level insect. That's the first time we see the actual grade, I think. I can write that down. It's a grade 6. A grade 6 Titanoptera. Titanoptera. They say like insect, monarch level insect. The insects. Are they beasts? Are insects beasts? I don't need a spell, I need swarm of insects. Insects are beasts. Who would have thunk? Not me. I guess insects just fall under beast. For simplicity's sake. Beasts, Yusung would be able to control them. That's true. That's true. But for simplicity's sake, I know technically they are not beasts, but like, if we only have D&D terms, I mean, it's easy enough for me to say, hey my god, I'm just going to say that insect is a new category. I guess I can do that. Just to continue the separation, and then say that insects have the same thing here. I can easily do that. Technically. In D&D they are the same thing, but it's easy enough for me to separate them into 2 categories. Yusung was able to control a spider. I mean, I always felt like Yusung's skill is like an upgraded version of Gil-young's skill. Because Gil-young's skill allows him to control and communicate only with insects. Meanwhile, Yusung's skill allows her to communicate and control all kinds of monsters. Is this the manga in which the reader manga comes to life just before the last chapter is released? Exactly, exactly. That is Omniscient Reader Viewpoint. I think Beast is fine. We can keep it with Beasts, I guess. We can keep it with Beasts. I guess we can keep it with Beasts. You thief! I love her. Wait. Don't we have her somewhere? Don't we have that Yusung saved that Soo-young saved somewhere? Not this one. Not this one. Not this one. It's able to help Yusung tame the dragon as well. Because it's a chimera dragon. Gabriel. It's a chimera dragon. A chimera dragon is a mishmash of all kinds of different creatures. So that means the chimera dragon had some insect parts that allowed allowed Gil-young to be able to control it as well. Spiders are arachnids, not insects. Also true. It's the new sub. Don't know which part you are reading. We're currently at chapter 64, and this is technically not my read-through. I already am caught up with the story. This is me typing out information and gathering information for a future project. That is not supposed to be. That's not what I want to be. Where's my... Did I delete the Soo-young that I'm looking for? These are all the TOGs. It's a schedule. TOG. Delete the picture. Not delete the picture. That's a skill issue. It's the sub count that's not there. That's the road to 500 subscribers, which you already succeeded. Terminally stupid. TOG. Rachel. Oh yeah, that's my story that I published once. There's a Beyong. I guess that Beyong went missing. We lost the Beyong, guys. Wait, no, he's there. He's there. He is actually there still. That's ugly, chat. Oh, there's the laughing Suyong, the tiny laughing Suyong that I hid for some time. They both use the same skill, interspecies communication, but the taming skills are different. There. There's the Angie Suyong. Do you remember her? I still have her saved. Yippee! There she is! That's the exact same one from this panel. Tame the item Dragon Jar. I'm assuming that those items are Korean only items and not useful for our German scenario. Doctors are like, oops, killed that guy. Memo, my sister. Where did you hide my sister? What are you talking about? I'm really going to kill you if you don't tell me right now. What did the memo? We have your sister. Come and get her. Killed you, Dan. D. It's funny how that time I rolled my eyes thinking, oh, of course they're gonna make the cute villain girl into an ally. How original. And then she comes my favorite character. You're German, didn't you? Yeah, I am indeed a German Dokkaebi. I was raised and trained in the German Star Stream. I think you can somewhat hear it from my voice. I don't have the big German accent like some people, but I still have a German accent. Final qualification have begun, and they now need to fist fight. Yep. They are now fighting each other. Alright, you have failed to occupy your target station. You must occupy your target in order to participate in... Oh, right, still need to do that. Look at Jungyok already beating everybody up. There is little girlie. We almost never see her. Is my brother really here? She really looks like just younger Jungyok, but like slightly like female. Like long hair. I think something about the eyelashes, but like it really just looks like younger female Jungyok. I mean, that's what a sister is, right? Isn't that? I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. Oh, I forgot the scene that's going to come up. I forgot the freaking scene. He's not my brother. He's uglier than my brother. Very ugly at that. I love the little baby hair at the back here. Is not your sister? Who is she then? Who are you? I'm hungry. Who are you? I'm hungry. Little ducky on her freaking overall. Take over. Yeah, we almost never see his sister or girlfriend. He's hiding them. For real. I mean, in a way you could say that he's keeping them safe by not having them participate in the main scenarios. No, don't do it. Don't do it. I still am traumatized from seeing it the first time. I still am traumatized from this freaking Kirby scene. No! It's Mia Yu's skill inventory. Look at that rule. Do you think inventory is a personal... Like, it is a personal skill and not a stigma, right? Is this manhwa finished or still ongoing? It's still ongoing. And it will probably still be ongoing for the next 10 years or something like that. Probably more. No one in the entire Twister has ever done this before. The adventurer who makes X stand up. I don't know who that is. I think it's a reference to some other webtoon. Ongoing, novel is finished. Yeah, the novel is finished. I mean, the main novel is finished, but there is this sequel / side story thing. I guess I'm writing down inventory as a skill. Inventory. Inventory should be a passive skill, even though it's very useful. users. What's that word? Visits. Owners. Yeah, owner. That's what's the word. Owners of this skill are granted a subspace to store items in. Do you think that every inventory is like that you have to pull it out of your mouth? Or is it like you can pull it out of different orifices, like your nose or ears? Or maybe some people don't have it like in their body, but like actually can just put their hair and then like a hole appears like where they can put like their hand in. The other possibilities are scarier. I grant a subspace to store items in. With every level in this skill, you are allowed to store 10 items in your subspace. I think that's fair. Because that means at level 1 you can store 10 items, and level 100, at level 10 you can store 100 items. And I still need to think about item management in my campaign, which is being like, okay, you are capable of... I don't want to do weight, like how heavy different items are, because I think that's annoying. I think I'm just going to say, inventory, do you think Tower of G inventory system is unique, or is it normal in Manhwa world? Tower of God inventory system is... I mean, it's somewhat unique-ish, because they have they have different inventories for different ideas. Like, oh, you have your needle inventory. You have your inventory just for this kind of thing. You have an inventory for this kind of thing. You have your pocket, which is like an overall inventory. You have your lighthouse, which is also a kind of inventory. Tower of God has a pretty unique inventory system because it has like all of these different variations of it. Others have backpacks. Yeah. I guess do I need to have a weight thing? I don't want a weight thing, so we can say like if you don't have a backpack, you can store store the items that you are wearing, and then you can store like 2 items which you are holding in your hands. I think that about sums it up. That makes sense. Is Tower of God currently good? Dropped it in Season 3 due to lack of Rachel. I mean, there were some Rachel moments, but let's say the Season 3 Rachel moments were not her best moments. And Season 3 was a bit of a roller coaster of like going up and down. But Season 3 is currently over, Gabriel. So if you want to catch up, now that we are currently in a break, you can just catch up. No new chapters are coming out at the moment, so you can take your time. But yeah, it's a bit of a roller coaster. Clap, clap, clap. She's so imitating Hui-Wan. I guess without backpacks, you can carry 2 items, the things that you are wearing, and 2 items that you are holding. And with a backpack, you are capable of like storing like between, depending on the backpack size, you can be like between 5 to 10 more items or something. I think that's useful enough. I like her so much. Her design, because she's like a goofy Jungkook. I want more of her. I want more of her freaking skill, which is so funny to me. The overall stats of all kings will be reduced to 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Even with all stats equal, Jungkook is just that much stronger. Is forfeited. I hate him so much. I hate him so much. This is probably one of my most hated characters in this entire story. Maybe even actually the most hated character in Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. I have such a profound feeling of hateness for this guy. Damn, look at that. That was the sky-breaking fist or whatever it was called. No, it was kick. Sheesh! Loophole in the last phase. Fight with no skills and stigmas, an average stat of 10. Is it because of his shit-eating grin? Partially. It's also just because he has a shit personality. He's the neutral king, but he's anything but neutral. He's such an like scheming evil snake kind of character, and I don't like this concept. I don't like him because of his things, his actions. Everything seems to be restricted, but you can spend more coins to power yourself up. No longer fight. How high are your stats? How high did he push? I think Dogja pushed his stats up until like the 50 mark or something. At least the characters I hate eventually get what they deserve. Is it good or bad that the stories are going on for decades? I'm split, because One Piece quality went bad around chapter 300, but it's still going on, but Tower of God still has relatively good quality. I mean, that's debatable. I'm on the train that Tower of God's quality dropped massively, even like as early on as like the middle section of like season 2 middle part. One Piece still has its good moments, but it also has like dropped quality in some degrees. Like if early One Piece was like an 8 out of 10, the current One Piece, there were moments that were only like 4 out of 10, but there are also still moments that are 8 or 9 out of 10. But One Piece is just like on the seesaw of being like good and also like bad, but it's also like sunk cost fallacy of like I'm too invested to drop it. The anime is its up and downs, but the manga is consistent, crazy good. I mean, Gabriel, there were its issues in the like Wano, but Wano has been done for like years now. So if we're saying like current One Piece, yeah, Egghead was pretty good, had a few of iffy moments, and Elbaf has been pretty good so far as well. Tower of God has a lot of issues. But I don't think Omniscient Ria's Viewpoint is going to have that struggle, because One Piece is an original manga and Tower of God is an original webtoon. So that means there is no novel to go back to. Meanwhile, Omniscient Ria's Viewpoint is a finished story. It's a finished novel that you just need to adapt. And that novel, there was no time limit for the person to publish that novel. So they didn't publish that novel, and it was just finished. There was no rush to finish it. There was no delays or anything. It was just working on that novel, finishing it. Which means Omniscient Ria's Viewpoint has, like, stories that are based on a novel have a higher likelihood to be good all the way through. I think that about sums it up what I want to say. The huge problem is that every character is such a demigod that no one can lose, and most fights feel inconsequential. Also, lack of Rachel. It also is that just like some of these low-ranking characters should not be there in the scenarios which are happening for the high-ranking people. Oh, he's going all the way to 100. Not 50. Ending of Omniscient Ria's Viewpoint for me, I have no intention of reading it. No, because I don't know it myself. I'm only caught up with the webtoon. And the webtoon is like barely like halfway done with the novel. I cannot spoil it to you. And if anyone dares to put a spoiler now in my chat, I will ban you and I will sue you. I will send my lawyer after you. Maybe I will even send the little Dokebi Pyro Jr. on top of my head to come to your house and commit arson. You just be confused by the end without context, Lemma. Rebel, you have the first to have strength in the 3 digits. Look at him just earning more and more coins because he gets damaged. Ugh. I could, but I won't. Thank you. He's cracking the freaking scene. Sheesh. He's cracking the Dokebi barrier. Huh. Looks like the underdog has won. Did I hit him too hard? I didn't kill him, did I? Look at that glare. Yeah, how is he still? Is it like a? He's not conscious. Yeah, he's not conscious. He passed out with his eyes open because he's such a crazy guy. But he did not stand while unconscious or dead. He still was on the ground. He's like slap, slap, slap. Wait, how many coins did he get for that thing? Was it 30k? Sorry, I need to scroll back up. I need to write that down for myself. I think it was 30k. Yep, 30k. Which is kind of crazy to think about, because Dogja spent like a lot of coins to freaking get there. But if you get 30,000 coins because you reached 100 things and strength. Let me go. Where's my stats? The coin rewards are always too little for Dogja. That's also true, but like, if you get... Okay, let me do the math. Let me do the math with my thing, which might be accurate to how the things work in Omniscient Viewpoint. First, you need to spend 3,000 coins. He was at level 10, so that one falls out. Yeah, if you want to, you can watch Badly explaining all of ORV in 6 minutes. You will be so confused. So he spent 4,000 coins to get from 11 to 20. Then he spent 5,000 coins to get to 30. Then he spent 6,000 coins to get to 40. Then he spent 7,000 coins to get to 50. Then he spent 8,000 coins to get to 60. 9,000 to 70. That's right, yeah. He spent 10,000 to get to 80. He spent 11,000 to get to 90, and he spent 12,000 to get to 100, which means in total, I mean, it doesn't add up. Does it? I don't know. That would mean he spent 72,000 coins to get from level 10 to level 100. And then he got 30,000 coins as a reward because he reached level 100. Which kind of means he got 30,000 coins again and only had to spend 42,000 coins effectively. So we can have reactions from Rachel haters? Yeah, I mean, I was watching your TOG videos, and when you said it'd be awesome if Rachel became as a Heart Prince, there was like, yeah, there's a troll video of a guy spoiling a fake enemy ORV. It's really funny. Reactions from Rachel haters. It would be crazy. If Rachel became as a Heart Princess, what if Rachel becomes the Heart's wife? Because he sees freaking Elaine in her, or not Elaine. He sees what was her name? Bum's mother. If he sees Bum's mother in her. Not even trolling, Rachel is the only really good character in the Webtoon IMO. I mean, she's at least interestingly written. She's such a little shit. Yeah, that's the same way I love her. Like, I don't even want to lie. I sympathize with her. She does not deserve the freaking hate she gets. Both in the universe and out of the universe, from the readers. She does not deserve the hate. Alright, the rule of plausibility. Maybe it's because they're a Dokkaebi. Doesn't the management have rules against lying like that? Damn, you little shit! I love how Dogja messes up this shithead. Freaking Paul, he can suck these Dogja nuts. Will be difficult to clear without the ruler's throne, but I know that there are some things he's not telling me. If I use the power of the ruler's throne even once, I won't ever be able to reach the end of scenarios. This one is still a big mystery to me in a way. Why is he not able to reach the end of the scenarios? Does he mean he will not be able to reach the end that he wants, or like the actual end? I don't know. In the book, Jungyang only realizes this in the 41st regression. Why would you want me as your king? What if I just kill you after I sit on the throne? And the rest of you have forgotten already? Okay, where's Where's Doctor's explanation? Do I want to sign with any of you lousy constellations? And I will stop anyone else from sitting on the throne. Animated Rachel wrong. Hated her, but I went to read the manga and I was like, that is exactly what I would do. She is not a bad person. She was manipulated by Head-On. She does want everything there's needed to survive, which any normal person would do. And the whole thing about betrayal, that's normal in the tower. So if we go by the standards of the tower, she did even less wrong. I just don't get it. People just want to hate Rachel because she pushed the protagonist down from a freaking platform. Suffer at the expense of your bickering. You make history and become historic constellations and build up fabled eggs to become fabled constellations. Then what next? What will you do after you become the brightest shining star in the sky? How much longer must your descendants suffer, just so that you can fulfill your desires? A new sub-scenario has been created. Yippee! Kill him! Kill Dogja! Kill Dogja! This has become a Rachel work stream. I enjoy talking about Rachel. I should make a video about her one day. I should make more videos again besides the Monday stuff. It makes sense, to be honest. Betrayal type character get the most hate. Rachel did exactly what 99.999% of sane people would do. Yep, but because people are like, I would not do that. I mean, the thing is also like, Rachel didn't push Bum purely because she wanted to do it. It was also still because she had that deal with Head-On. And like Head-On's deal was also with FUG, because if Rachel didn't push Bum, Bum would never have gotten to FUG. So all these people still manipulated Rachel. She from the things that she said, she would be like, I would still have done that even without this manipulation and like the things of people wanting me to do that. But in the world that happened, she was manipulated. She was tasked to do that. We don't know if she actually would have done that if it wasn't forced upon her. Because if it wasn't forced upon her, the actual smarter thing to do would just be to be together with Bum and join his team. But she was forced. Another reason is that she feels really bad for herself. Not like character trait, but I like her. Yeah. Sometimes it seems like he still has no pants on. Get some freaking pants. If Rachel didn't push Bum, the Hearts team would have killed Bum long time ago. Yeah, it's like a big what if scenario. What if Rachel didn't push Bum? Which is an interesting thing to talk about. I think I'm writing that down as a note for a potential video. Yeah. She's like, what the freak is this guy? Damn, I hate this Dokubi so much. He's like also a hated character. Call upon a constellation. Who did he call upon? I liked her the most in Season 2 when she was tricking everyone and being cunning. I call the 7 stars of the Big Dipper. Look at this little idiot, he's so angry. Who are the 7 stars of the Big Dipper? What kind of constellation is this? I think we will only go to chapter 70, so like 69 today. Considering how long, like we're already 1.5 hours in, and we are like halfway done with everything. So it's I think that's a good chunk. I think 10 chapters is actually a good chunk for us always to go through. Who are the freaking... I mean, they're all Korean constellations, so I don't need to care about them. But like, why are they called this, like the 7 stars of the Big Dipper? I don't know. Season 2 she had too much plot armor. Every freaking character in Tower of God has too much plot armor. The freaking, all of the characters, Kun, Rak, Bam, and Dorsey, Ananak, Rachel, all of these characters, Shibisu, Hats, all of these characters should be dead already. They should be dead. All things considered, when they meet rankers, they should have just died. Like, infinite blood armor, it's insane, yeah. The author loves her. Because she's the best character. You know what's also funny? I'm expecting, not at the end of the story, but like at a very, very late moment, there to be a situation where the thing gets reversed. I think there's a popular theory as well, that maybe actually at the very top of the tower, somehow in some situation, both Rachel and Bum are at the very top of the tower, where you can see the scars, get a wish to come true, and find all of your answers. And then through some sort of battle or some sort of circumstance, Rachel gets almost knocked off the tower. She's clinging onto the edge of the tower, and it's like, then Bum walks up to her and is like, Rachel's like, Bum, grab my hand, pull me up, save me. And Bum does something to push Rachel off the tower. Like, in season 1, Bum got like his life ended and a new life started because Rachel pushed him off. And then at the end of the story, Rachel gets ended because she gets pushed off the tower by Bum or something. I don't think she's gonna die. I think she's actually gonna die. I think she's going to be a tragic heroine. What you just said reminds me of the ending of Devilman Crybaby. I have not watched it, actually. The Dragon Jar. That's a great item. The Freewheel Ring. All these Korean powerful items. Crazy. To cut off the tie the throne has with its owner. Please lend me your sword. Do you know what it entails? I do. The ruler's throne, the reward item for the fourth scenario. The throne allows the user to borrow the powers of one of the rulers of the dark dimension. So that means from one of the demon kings, I would assume. It will be handy to have such powers for now. I will be able to control Jungyok and neutralize my enemies here. But our world will be brought to an end as a result. That is the price I must pay for borrowing such great power. Or maybe it's not one of the Demon Kings? Maybe it's something else? I don't know what the Dark Dimension entails. My first thought would be Demon King, but I don't know. I think a redemption moment where she saves Bum would ruin the character, actually. Kinda, yeah. I don't want her to save Bum. I don't want her to reunite Bum. I don't want them to be friends again. Rachel doesn't want that. And Bum doesn't want that anymore either. So why that wouldn't help either of the characters to develop in any way. There, look at those constellations. It's the outer gods. It's one of the few items that can cut the tie to a constellation artifact. Plus, I like her. But it makes negative sense for Bum to like her from his perspective. It's one of the reasons I get annoyed at him, actually. I mean, it stopped. He does not care for her anymore. But you know what I say? Kunagiero Agnes is worse than Rachel. Because Kunagiero Agnes acts like the mother of Bum, trying to control him in some moments. He lies about situations, or like doesn't tell the whole truth and manipulates Bum in that way as well. Kun does not get the hate that he deserves. Kun is a manipulative bitch that is like, Kun is more freaking obsessed with Bum than Bum was ever obsessed with Rachel. And Kun is also manipulating Bum more than Rachel ever manipulated Bum. Kun is much worse. Okay, throne gets destroyed. I can see Kun killing Rachel. I want Rachel killing Kun. I want it the other way around, man. You know what? Kinda true. Tell us. Naval Warfare God is looking at you. Bald Army General is looking at you. Last hero of Huang Sanbo. Lady of the Sleeping Brocade. Great King Hongwu. One-Eyed Maitreya. They're sharing the burden of my plausibility. First, the different stars. Lord Chungguang from home. The Lord of Hanman. Why? Is that the story that you wanted to tell? We will be watching you, the king of the world without king. A non-existing achievement. A new fable has been created. The fable, the king of the world without a king, has been created. Omniscient Viewpoint readers here. What are the ranks of stories? Are the stories just because the stories are not ranked as like historic, fable, and myth? Are the stories ranked the same way as the attributes, in the way of like you have the general, like the basic story, like historic story, fable story, heroic story, legendary story? But like, what are the rankings for those stories? I have heard different names for them, but like, ending after the battlefield, looking at the stars, and it looks like the only best hero is dead, and Mr. No about Fadi. There is no next regression. There's only this world. Ragnarok would be a myth-level story, for example. So that begs the question of like, okay, you have like a historic story, you have a fabled story, and you have a myth story. But there's also legendary. Historical, legendary, myth. So fable is the same as legendary. So there's just like the 3 ranks for Constellations, there are 3 ranks for stories, and they're just historic, legendary, myth. Why would they? I mean, here they call it fable, but later down the line in the story, I remember them calling some stories legendary. So fable and legendary are just interchangeable, I guess. Historical, legendary, semi-myth, mythical? Oh, semi-myth. Semi-myth. Also something else, but spoiler. Okay, so something above myth, probably. But not that that matters too much to me. I guess these 4 are more than enough for me at the moment. Personally, make sure that you regret what you did today for the rest of your life. Why are you mad? Actually, when you think about it, why is he mad? He just wants to tell a good story, right? This is a good story. Or is he mad because he like, the people from the Dark Realm, like, they were sponsoring his stream, and he's like, yeah, my sponsors, I'm going to make it able for you to control this entire world. And then Dr. Destroyed, and he's like, no, it's my sponsorship, not my sponsorship. Pro paid for that throne. Yeah. Okay, Fable during the 4th scenario as planned. It's weird how Dokkaebi desperate. It's still good development. Damn Dokkaebi. Alright, this was the place where everybody got separated into different parts of the Soul Dome. Where we reunited with some character, I think. It's all because of you. Outer gods are not constellations. That's true. But did I say something like that? I said the Dark Realm. I think in the Dark Realm there's the Demon Kings. But did I say something about the Outer Gods? I still don't understand why Paul is such an hater. One question, what is Rachel's goal in manhwa so far? They're not constellations, they're octopuses. What is Rachel's goal? We don't really know. Rachel is a big secret character. Don't know what her goal is. She wants to climb to the top of the tower to see the stars. But there's always more to it. They can react like constellations, so it could be confusing. Translation mistake. Oh, not the bully. Oh, we got teased the story for the bully. Gonna see the bully soon. Soon? Not really that soon, I think. Actually, I don't think. Damn, look at that freaking bump on her head. Why am I back in the army? Solo scenarios for each individual. Why does she have a bump on her head? Yeah, exactly. So, who you want for some reason is in a bar. Was she an alcoholic? Was she a bartender? I don't know. Coin farm first. It's cool that you can see their previous occupations. It could be occupations or personal tie, as it said, drifted. So, she was a student. She's in a school. He was in the army. He got sent to barracks from an army. Was she a bartender? Or was she just a drunkard that always was there? Is she an alcoholic? Damn. And that's why he got sent to like his company of like game development. Oh right, he did not mean, he meant like co-workers. Microsoft. So it really is workplace, probably. Most likely workplace. But if she's from the tower, like Bum's mother, should she already be able to see the stars from outside the tower? I mean, depends. Pull up our family Kuma, for real. I mean, good place. Maybe there weren't stars outside of that place. Bum was inside of some cave, but that doesn't mean that the others were outside. There could still be something blocking their view to the sky. Yay, filler! You must eat 3 meals a day, sleep for 6 hours every night, on pay a survival fee. Yippee! Must be wondrous. Maybe see the stars was just some kind of sex joke. Sangha should be there as well, so not only workplace. That's true, that's very much true. It's very much true. I wonder where she got sent to. Q&A team. Power bank, power bank. Huh? Dogsha, is that you? Everyone who was working overtime was put in the first scenario. Killed Mr. Kim myself. Yep, because he needed to kill somebody in the very first scenario. You alone here? Nope, there's a group. Something like that. You don't have to clear scenarios yourself, don't you know? Tang and Pil were sent to the same place, right? I don't remember that. Unless Olympus intervened and moved her towards the stuff she gathered. Coin farm. The Colosseum. Yippee! Colosseum. Yep. But I get it. I get it, man. He was loaded in like 2 days. I get that the Constellations are interest. Oh my god, Sweeks! Damn, I haven't had Sweeks in ages. Didn't she wake up in Chungmoro? I don't remember. Damn, I want to eat a Sweeks now. I have fond memories of this bar here. It's a very, very delicious chocolate bar. I really hate Wang and TOG. His story is always teasing, but no plot. That's why we're getting a spin-off about him. Hey, where? Open the door, please. Games these days weren't desperate enough. The players don't open up their wallets to a game with generic plot. I thought about it and you are right. Hey, take it. Hey, newbie, get the picture? You know who these people are. The head of the department, the deputy manager, and director, and I don't think you get it. Where do you think you are right now? Coliseum! Coliseum! Yep, Wang is the blonde prince guy. One of the blonde prince guys. Enact your revenge. Poor newbie. He knows what he's doing. He's pulling the strings to make the story more interesting and so that he can earn more coins. Wait, what? Tower Joy has spin-offs? How many are there? Actually, there is not a spin-off yet. But before we... like, you know, Season 3 is finished at the moment. So... before we go into Season 4, we will get a Wang Nan spin-off. Could say it's season 3.5. It's like a Wang Nan story before we get into the main story back. Even creating plots for the Constellations. Some fresh meat, lock them up. He's quite the looker. Were badonkers always that big? They seem bigger than usual here. Nah, actually I think it's accurate. She looks so pretty here. When she's not speaking, she actually is pretty. I mean, she's also pretty when she is talking. But she... You get my point. You get my point. The plagiarist, Su Young-han. Do you see King's Heart story as a tragedy or act of a foolish dictator? It depends on the developments. I don't know enough about his story yet, especially now that we know more about the blonde-haired princess, and like not princesses, like female, but like prince, plural. And also the idea that maybe, like, we know that something critically changed about the heart, which made everything hang. So it's either like a... I see it as NTR. No. It could be a foolish dictator that wanted to have no emotions, so he locked his emotions away, but it could also be a tragedy of him being manipulated as well, because Tower of God is always about manipulating, and maybe the heart was manipulated all along as well. I don't know. NTR, crazy. Yeah, can you just let her die? No, no. Yep, yep, stop the whole coin farm. You have reread it quite fast. I'm surprised you're already here, Pyro. I mean, it's not really reread profit. This is, because this is like work stream, right? So I'm just scrolling. As you can see, it's not really... I'm not really reading. I'm just scrolling through it in a way, and it's looking for different skills, abilities, monsters, items, and other things. Even though the system says he saved her, I'm 100% sure even without mana she solos everyone here. I mean, she is unconscious at the moment, right? Or was she faking that? I'm not entirely sure. Office. Drama. It's this. You break the cage. They wouldn't have killed her right away anyway. She would have escaped for sure. I mean, that's like with reading knowledge, but you never know. You never know. My leg! Dude, king of no killing. It's so, he's stretching the definition so much. Money Justifier is happy with the decision. Yay! His fans are pleased. You see how fast he switched up on Dogja? This guy was always messed up in the head. Freaking superiority complex. Damn, I want her so bad. I need her so bad. Give her to me. Make her... give her to me. I want waifu. In the novel, they make it clear that they wanted to keep her as a slave, so they wouldn't have killed her. I mean, it's also... yeah. Princess Carrie. So if Dogja wasn't here, she maybe had waited for like a situation of like played unconscious. I'm playing this out, which is going to sound very hard for me to talk about. She would have probably waited for the situation where they would have undressed her completely, but also undressed themselves completely. So that they were already in a situation of about to start the whole thing. And in that moment, she would have probably gone for the kill, because that's the moment where they would be the most defenseless. That would probably be the thing that would have... how it would have turned out. In many manhwa, I ignore skills and abilities, because in many of the manga I read, the authors change the rules and definitions on a whim. True. Sometimes it's just like go with the flow situation. Wait! Out of health and mana. She's like, yeah, I need to recover a bit more. Look at her dragging, clinging onto his chest. Ah, so romantic. This is a romance. This is a true romance story. This way the enemy of the enemy is a friend is happy. Let's forget his skills because he doesn't have a character window. That's also true. That's true for Dogja. This is a cliche, you know that? The hero who saves a beauty in distress? I thought you didn't like cliches. You're wrong about two things. Damn it, the wanderers from other areas must be gathering. One, I'm not a hero. You have saved the life of someone of your own species. +1. Yep, that's the main reason why you saved her. Okay, but this here, this is a point that you guys are saying, like, they wouldn't have killed her. But because King of No Killing activated, that means that Sooyoung would have died if he left her there. So that would mean they would have killed her in some way. You're no beauty. What do you mean? She's such a beauty. I love her so much. Let me down. Ah! I didn't mean it like that. Set the stage for you. I feel like Dogja doesn't have a character window because the author didn't want it to update it all the time. Dude, she's hot. That's... I mean, they're also calling Dogja, our main character, ugly. And this guy is not ugly, but he's being called ugly all the time. Former anime of mine is much too passé for even for me. Dogja says petty. That's the right word, yeah. This is such a cool panel. Do you know? I want to save this picture one day. Actually, I'm going to make a screenshot for this. And save it for something. For a game show. But it would require people to not have read that story. Because I want to make a sibling or dating kind of video. Or like game show live stream. Reminds me of Solo Leveling. I mean, they have the same art style. It's from this. They are drawn by the same company. When I was reading the novel, I just imagined Kim Dogja as Faker. Wouldn't Junghyuk be Faker? Because Junghyuk is the pro gamer. To be honest, to be fair, I hate situations like that, what you described, Pyro. I just uncomfortable of reading things like that, even if it would be realistic. So I prefer if stories not include like that. Faker is a League of Legends, which is a video game, a MOBA. He's a professional player in that and has been for years. He has the most titles and world championships and stuff. Prophet, I completely agree with you. I think it would be realistic, but I think it is not very comfortable, very what's the word? Tasty. Like I don't think it's part of a good story if you have to make it like that. You can show like personally, sometimes for shock factor, I can see that the implementation of like attempted R, because I don't think YouTube likes me saying the word, I can see that it can hold strong value in a story. But if it happens over and over again, and if it gets pulled too far, I feel like it is kind of problematic and bad, which is not that of a hot take. But I also feel like it is a very easy way to make an enemy unlikable, to actually show that these guys are villains. If you say that these guys have done that to multiple women, maybe even to men, maybe they didn't care about gender at all because gender equality, but these guys are instantly despicable, people hate them, so it's an easy way to form a hateable character. So I don't like to see it, but if it's used in like a flashback kind of way or like a setup-y kind of way, I feel like it can help like deepen the story to show that it is like an adult story, it is dangerous, and actually horrible things are happening. It's not wholesome, yeah. Colleague of Faker. It's uncomfortable when it's explicit. In this case, it was just an implication that never happened. Obvious when it's a dark story and when it's a fetish. This is, by the way, the last chapter for the day. We are doing 2-hour work streams, and I'm getting hungry again. Hello, the dad that left. Welcome. Welcome back. I hope you had a nice time getting that milk. Now, where is it? Did you get almond milk? What kind of milk did you get? I know which is fine. I know which is fine. Just it would be closer or would happen is the times it is uncomfortable emo. I'm just thinking about like what would have happened if Doctor didn't say fair. What do you think of solo leveling? I ain't getting money anymore. I gave it all to you. What you mean? Look at your coins. You probably have enough coins. What am I thinking about solo leveling? It has good art, pretty epic moments. That's it. That's pretty much it. It has a good concept, I think. I think it has a good, interesting concept for a world. Did the bot die? I remember the people earlier got coins, but... Wait, the bot died! Solo is not bad, anime is well done though. That's funny, because when Eileen came here at the start of... That's so funny, the bot died very early and I didn't even realize. Eileen came in, got coins from the bots, then Arika came in and didn't get coins from the bot. Which means, in the first 14 minutes of the stream, the bot died and Eileen was the only one to get the freaking greeting coins. First word of the day coins. So bad, it's insane. I like it, but it's a pretty basic story. I don't want to call it bad, but it's a very generic story, yeah. Oh, did I get disconnected? Give me a second. Is it open for you guys to see? Do I need to... Okay, now the bot should be turned on again. Yeah. Every male character exists to be beaten by Protag. Every female exists to fall in love with the Protag. It's so generic. Hype moments are definitely hype though. Just don't think about the story too much. Yeah. Hype moments are hype. The world is actually interesting. I think the story of the the monarchs and the absolute beings and those kind of things is actually interesting. But I do also think that the execution is not done that well. It's just a basic story of like epic freaking like hot character that is quite stoic and doesn't show that many emotions. I mean, the story was fine at the first few chapters. I would have liked if it was more slow progression. Like, after Jinwoo won against the snake in his first dungeon, he was already so powerful that almost everything didn't seem like a problem. Like, he did have problems against Cerberus, the dog, but he still won. And then it was always just like, it felt like he was always stronger than the thing that he was fighting in the moment. So then he leveled up because he defeated a lot of those enemies that he was fighting against, and then he was more powerful than the next enemy would come, and he would always be stronger than what was his foe. What is this coin balance? I have a system here in my stream where people earn coins by being active in chat, and by being active in chat, these coins will then be able to be used in certain kind of events that I will do in my future streams. So it's like that. If you want a better leveling anime, I recommend Shangri-La Frontier. I still want to watch that so badly. I'm so waiting for Shangri-La. I so want to watch that. I've been putting it off for so long. I hate it after 10 chapters. The only thing that can challenge him is the stupid VR dungeon. Solo leveling ending was stupid. I mean, it's a basic ending as well of like, oh my god, every problem got solved. I'm being vague for people that don't know the ending, and I don't want to spoil it. I think it's like it's just like a generic of like, damn, every problem is now solved and everything is good again. But actually, it's not. It's really, what do you say? It's really underrated anime that's unfortunately shadowed by solo leveling because it comes out on the same day. I mean, it's season 2 or season 3 for Shangri-La? Like, I remember when season 1 of Shangri-La aired, it was a really popular anime at that time. It's awesome. I'm all caught up with the manga and it's still ongoing. Yeah. I don't know if we will get any information here. She's so happy about your coins. Season 2, second half. Okay. Knew this was who you really were. Should have realized when I first heard those rumors. Yeah, the rumors about his mom. Oh no, my glasses. ORV season is great and super popular and more seasons are made. And I hope it's not being compared to solo leveling, and I hope they don't butcher the characters. Bit part actor. Constellations don't like frustrating situations like this. Yeah, do that. Doesn't have much hype moments. It does have hype moments, but I know what you mean. It doesn't have the same hype moments like solo leveling, for example. Walmart solo leveling, 6 out of 10. Comparison is already made, which doesn't make any sense because they are so not similar. Oh my god, both things have leveling systems. Leveling systems are the freaking most generic thing nowadays. But I still love them. Comparison is the thief of joy. I think that's a saying, right? Not making it into a TOG situation where the anime was pretty... Solo leveling is a 6 out of 100. I would rate solo leveling a good 6 out of 10, man. So like 60 out of 100, I guess. Look, oh right, Doctor stole the clothing from him. I don't need to write that down. I don't know. It's a B grade item. This is just a suit. I mean, it's probably a good suit. Yeah. To be hyped, they need to adapt it until Throne breaks anime. I mean, that would be a lot. I think the Dogja Jungyok clash after the cinema arc would be a good season end. When was cinema arc? Cinema arc ORV. Story arcs. I mean, it's not capture the flag. Wait, is it landlord, emergency defense, omniscient sunfish? So it would be 43 webtoon episodes or 41 omniscient web novel episodes. So I feel like this would be a good thing. If it's, I feel like for a 12, 13 episode anime, omniscient sunfish ending spot is really good. 24 episodes of Throne Break is good, where one core is cinema and second core is Throne. That can work. Where's Throne? Kingless World is the end of Throne? No, Master of Throne is the end of Throne. I guess that, I mean, it does seem kind of short. Because if we say 12 episodes, like, split into the different cores, and say the first 12 episodes are until Omniscient Sunfish, which is 43 episodes, and then we say it goes until Master of Throne, it would only be 20 chapters. Even if we say it goes all the way until the end of Kingless Worlds, that would mean it's only 25 chapters. If they do Throne for 12 episodes and then the next thing for 12 episodes, Kingless World, I feel like the Throne destruction needs to be the end of the season. How about 20 episodes? I think 24 would end after Catastrophe of Questions. That's, but I agree. But I think that would be bad. I don't see Catastrophe of Question as a good ending spot for some reason. I don't know. I think season 1 Omniscient Sunfish is good for 13 episode anime. And then oh my god, you know, I see the possibility. Until Omniscient Sunfish, it's a 13 episode anime. And then we get a movie. A feature-length 1.5 or 2 hour long movie that goes all the way until the throne gets destroyed. I think that would work. I think that could work. Doctor just getting his new outfit? Exactly. 50 chapters per core, so it would end on the killing on Igneel of Disaster or Floods. Have you seen the anime in which the main character only does parallel? Yeah, I have not seen the anime, but I read the manga. Doctor just getting his new outfit. Yep, I will be either slow or rushed. I prefer slow. Yeah, I'm going with the movie. It will not happen, but I'm going with the movie. I think you didn't account for how long the chapters are instead of how much. I mean, that is true. That is true. But if we consider... But if we consider the length of the chapters, wouldn't it even make sense to say that the end of Omniscient Sunfish is enough for like a 24 episode anime? How was Overlord movie? Rushed or okay paced? I have not watched it. I have no idea. There are chapters that can go by faster. Game of Kings arc is a lot of fights. So he's still recruiting them in a way. Yay, Chungmoro! Damn, look at the grimoire. I mean, I think they can stretch out the throne arc if they focus on the fights. Yeah, the fights, like maybe I want the tyrant to be to still be killed the same way, but maybe they can stretch out the fight where like tyrant is fighting against everybody. They can stretch it out more than that short of a section, and maybe they can stretch out the scene where Jungyuk fights against the other kings as well before Dogja arrives. And maybe they will stretch out the fight between Jungyuk and Dogja as well. I can see that. And that wouldn't be bad. They do a crazy Sakuga scene for the Tyrant before Yujung just appears and destroys him. That would be hilarious. anime watchers would be so like, what? The Tyrant King? The Tyrant King was teased so much. I thought he would be more important. I really hope that people who only watch the anime and start with the anime are not getting spoiled from Webtoon readers. Because, like, some stories, the Webtoon, manga, or other readers freaking love to spoil the people who are only watching the anime. I don't know, it's not really anime or manga, it's a comic, and I haven't seen it. But you guys probably know Invincible, like the superhero comic, which is being adapted as a cartoon. And the Invincible comic readers freaking love to spoil the people who only watch the cartoon. Which is so crazy, It's always like, you're not ready for the scene with this character. And then sometimes they're like, how do freaking cartoon watchers only know about this character? He doesn't appear for at least like 2 more seasons. He knows because you guys keep spoiling them. Or it would be worse where they get to like One Piece level of recap. That would be freaking horrible. It's even worse when we add novel readers too. Now I read they will spam untagged spoilers saying it's not spoilers. It's not spoilers, it's just the existence of God. I want to read a manhwa in which characters live a life as a meaning, not like in TOG where side characters are introduced just be killed to show how powerful the bad guy is. I'd be more worried about people spoiling about the novel if it got somewhat popular. That's also very true. Because there's always bad eggs. I'm thinking about that good place. I don't know. It's hard because it's always about the definition of what you say. But there for sure are some manga, webtoon, manhwa out there that do that. She's so pretty. Prima has really good characters. I still need to watch that. The guy spoiled about the offer untag. It's so crazy. Nothing here. You know that line, got it? She stole it from Jungyuk, right? Right? Yeah, but anticlimactic though. Still like the story. Really is more about the story than the fights though, right? Like there are good fights I heard, but it's more about story and stuff. Character development. What do you mean anime did free rent dirty? I only heard good things about the anime. You're plagiarizing your own lines now? Till you're sure that you're undefeatable. Find yourself some trustworthy allies. This is what Jingyuk said in Tusa to the survivors who came to him asking for advice. I didn't copy anything. That's from my novel. Then why are you running away? Because, wait, why are you chasing me? She won't admit that she plagiarized the novel. I helped you, so you still owe me. Share of plenty. Eee. Yay, internet. Pay for it if you want to read it. Give it back! I can read them. Junyon Yu quietly turned on his status window. He wanted to check out the Eye of the Enlightened, a skill that he had just obtained. Junyon Yu, age 27. Is Jungyuk also 27? Anyways, I gotta go now. Bye. Have a good one, Dad. Make sure to bring the milk next time. The manga becomes awesome even in the fights. Eye of the Enlightened. Close combat. Weapons proficiency. Mental barrier. Lie detection. Return from death. Finally at the Eye of the Enlightened. I've gotten lucky this round. Jungyong smiled as he read his status window. You really must not have a conscience. What? Twiza refers to them as supporting Constellations, but I call them sponsors. That's completely different. Wiki says 28. No paywall. Let me read for free. Oh my god, it's another wall. We got the 4th wall, we got the unidentified wall, and we got the paywall. See, she didn't plagiarize. Yoongjok her character smiled. Junghyuk would never smile. Yeah, that's true, that's true. Thank you for saying that. There's even a typo here. It says Jungyeon. Typo? Let me see if there was really a typo when I read that. Okay. Here it says Junhyun. Here it says Jungyeon. And here it says Jungyeon again. Mm-hmm. The paywall was the first and the evilest wall after all. Sponsor is what they call it in the novel law. There was a manhwa I forgot to follow a couple of years ago called Soulwinder. Is it good? I don't know that. I don't know that one. 99. I'm not even answering it. Are no meteorites in mine. Thought she would have copied that too. But there is a thing called the Sealing Stone. She's such a goober. She's such a goober. Meteorites. You know what I mean. Anyway, you know about them, right? The Ruby of Soul must be in a meeting. Read Infinite Mage. It's pretty good. Infinite Mage? I think I know that one. I think I know it visually, but I don't know. There's the Dokkaebi shop. Beyond's Alarm. There's no new... I still wonder what the freaking XP points are. Pretty new manhwa. What the freak are the XP points? Bonus XP points. What does it mean? That you can level up skills faster? I don't know. But it sounds so... I don't get it. What would it be? Fire Dragon Scale. Did I write it down? I did. I don't think I wrote those down. Fire Dragon Bone, Fire Dragon Scale. Fire Dragon Scale. Fire Dragon Bone. They got sold for 8k and 5k, and this one got bid up. Someone actually bought them at these prices, which means that Dogja sold them at more than what they are worth. Put it up because they didn't have anywhere to store it. Aircraft was supported by a Nebula, Ranveer Khan of India, and Fei Hu from China. That's about all I can think of. We still haven't met those two characters, I think. Were they at the Constellation Banquet? I don't know. So, these items are overpriced. Even the 8,000 and 5,000 seem to be overpriced. Where's the Fire Dragon thing? Fire Dragon Nucleus was ranked A. So if the Nucleus, which is the most important item, is ranked A, and the other ones are like D grade items, then I guess. My Prophet Waifu looks so good. The scale of a Fire Dragon. It can be used in crafting. The same as well. The bone of a Fire Dragon. It can be used in crafting. And now for the price. Let's say a scale is worth less than a bone. We have them at 8 and 5k. So let's say the scale would go for 3,000 and the bone... Now let's say this goes for 2,500 and the bone would go for 4,000. I don't know. I'm just thinking of random numbers because I have nothing to go off. Look at Infinite Mage. Yay! Contracts! And then she ended the contract by removing herself. Skill lie detection level 1. It's your attribute. Cliffhanger, 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 cliffhanger. Whoopee! Oh man. Look at what we did this week in 2.5 hours. We got 2 new items. We got technically 2 new monsters, but I increased it into 4 new monsters. We got a whopping 7 new skills and a whopping 2 attributes. That's pretty big. 69. Good point to stop. Yeah, let's see if next week we'll reach all the way to 79 or if we can go further. It always depends on how much we talk about other things, because we did get sidetracked a few times, and it also depends on how much we have to note down. And also, by the way, while we are at it, I said if I don't know what to say False Prayer does as an ability at the end of the stream, I will delete it. So I will delete False Prayer, because I have no idea what I will give an ability for. I have no idea what False Prayer is like. I have literally nothing in my head what False Prayer could be. I used to read Omniscient Reader, but lost interest when the MC fourth wall starts breaking. Fourth wall starts breaking? Doing the outer god thing? How can you lose interest at that? I'm trying to understand, but I just don't see it. I can understand that maybe the story is not for everyone, but that point, if I'm remembering correctly, I don't see how that would be a point where somebody could drop it. Yep. Whoo! During the bully part? It could be. During the bully part, there was also the fourth wall. That's correct. I was thinking about the situation where the fourth wall was used to do Mom and Outer God. I don't know why, but I lost interest. Sometimes it just happens. Sometimes it can also be like a personal mood or something like that. So it's a bit difficult to just think. There can be a lot of reasons why something like that occurs. I don't think the Nirvana part. Oh, Nirvana! That's also true. There was also the big Nirvana scene. But none of those... Maybe the bully? The bully of those is like the least interesting scene, but like... yeah, I don't know. But anyways, everybody here, I want to thank you guys for spending some of your time of the day together with me to go through this story once again, to rediscover more about the story, to learn more about the secrets that all of these characters hold, their abilities and their features, and then convert them into something that could be used in a system that might be used in a TTRPG maybe one day, sometime down the line, maybe one day. But for now, clap, clap. This is all from me for today. And all that to be said from me is stay happy, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay cultured. Pyro, out. I'm gonna go watch football now. Look at me point at you. I'm pointing my fingers at you. Ugh.